Stop waiting. Stop hesitating. The truth is, no one is coming to save you. No miracle is going to knock at your door. No secret hack will fall from the sky to solve your problems. The only difference between you and the people you envy, the ones with wealth, power, and freedom, is the way they think, the way they act, and the laws they live by. And if you don't start following those same laws, you will be left behind. Forgotten. Replaced. Left wondering why life never bent in your favor. Today, I'm about to hand you the exact blueprint that one of history's greatest financial titans, John D. Rockefeller, lived by. The man who started from absolutely nothing and built an empire that still echoes through time. He didn't rely on luck. He didn't wait for permission. He built his life on ruthless discipline, unshakable belief, and relentless execution. These are the 38 personal laws of power Rockefeller followed, not the sugar-coated nonsense you hear from self-help gurus, but the cold, unfiltered truths that build dynasties. You either live by these laws, or you get crushed by those who do. Simple as that. Now, before you make excuses or tell yourself that times have changed, let me be crystal clear: human nature hasn't changed. Power hasn't changed. Money hasn't changed. The game is still the same. The only thing that's changed is your tolerance for mediocrity. And here's the harshest truth: if Rockefeller was dropped into your exact circumstances, your job, your city, your debts, your excuses, he would still rise to the top. Why? Because he didn't care about circumstances. He lived by principles. Immutable, non-negotiable principles that propelled him through every storm. So, as you listen today, I need you to understand something. This isn't entertainment. This isn't background noise. This is either the moment everything changes for you, or the moment you walk away, staying stuck exactly where you are, watching others build lives you only dream about. Because once I begin unveiling these laws, there's no unhearing them. They'll either ignite something in you, or they'll haunt you every time you make another excuse. So here's my challenge to you. Listen carefully. No distractions. No scrolling. No half-hearted attention. Commit right now to listen all the way through, because by the time we're done, you will either be ready to rise, or you'll be exactly the same person, but with one less excuse left to hide behind. Let's begin. Law 1: Ruthless clarity of purpose. Rockefeller didn't stumble into wealth by accident. He was obsessed with clarity. He knew exactly what he wanted. Power. Wealth. Dominance. And he was unapologetic about it. You see, most people drift through life without a clear aim. They say they want success, but they have no idea what that actually means to them. They're vague. They're soft. They get pulled in every direction by every distraction, every fear, every opinion. But Rockefeller knew, if your mind isn't locked in like a guided missile, you will never reach your target. This law demands that you define your purpose with ruthless clarity. Write it down. Memorize it. Live it. Breathe it. Every single move you make must serve that purpose. And if it doesn't? Eliminate it. No apologies. No guilt. Start today. Define your purpose or stay lost forever. Law 2: Mastery over emotions. You cannot afford to be ruled by your emotions. Rockefeller wasn't. He understood that emotions are nothing more than signals, not instructions. Weak people react. They get angry, jealous, desperate, impulsive. Strong people control their emotions like a general commands an army. Rockefeller could sit in the face of chaos, calm, composed, calculating, while others panicked. If you let anger, fear, or doubt dictate your decisions, you're handing over your power on a silver platter. Here's your action step: every time an emotion rises, pause. Breathe. Observe it without acting on it. Discipline over emotion is non-negotiable if you want to build power. Law 3: Absolute self-discipline. Without self-discipline, every goal, every dream, every plan collapses. Rockefeller knew this. He was fanatical about routines, discipline, and consistency. He didn't wait for motivation. He didn't rely on passion. He relied on doing what needed to be done, whether he felt like it or not. He understood that self-discipline isn't a punishment, it's the path to freedom. You will never rise without it. You must learn to command yourself like a soldier follows orders. If your mind says, "I don't feel like it today," you respond, "Too bad." We move anyway. Success doesn't care about your feelings. Wealth doesn't care about your comfort zone. You either train your mind to obey, or you'll live as a slave to laziness forever. Law 4, relentless focus on long-term vision. Rockefeller didn't chase quick wins. He played the long game. Always. While others scrambled for temporary gains, he built systems, monopolies, and industries that would dominate for decades. Most people can't think beyond their next paycheck. That's why they stay broke. The fourth law is simple: stop chasing instant gratification. Start obsessing over your 5-year vision. Your 10-year empire. Your legacy. Every short-term sacrifice must serve your long-term vision. You may lose some battles. You may get laughed at. Let them laugh. They won't be laughing when you own the game. Law 5, ruthless elimination of distractions. Distractions are the enemies of power. Rockefeller guarded his time like it was gold. He didn't entertain useless meetings, gossip, or mindless chatter. He cut off anything that didn't fuel his mission. And you? You're drowning in distractions. Social media, notifications, endless entertainment. You're addicted to noise. And that's why you're stuck. The harsh truth? If you can't control your attention, you can't control your destiny. This law demands brutal action. Audit your life. Remove every distraction. Protect your focus like your life depends on it, because it does. Take one step now. Delete the apps. Silence the noise. Or stay enslaved to it. Law 6, develop strategic patience. Rockefeller wasn't just patient. He was strategically patient. He didn't sit around waiting, but he also didn't rush recklessly. He moved when the time was right. Power comes to those who know when to wait and when to strike. Most people are too impatient to build anything great. They quit after a few setbacks. They panic if results don't come fast. But Rockefeller played chess while everyone else played checkers. He waited in the shadows, watching markets, watching people, letting competitors burn themselves out. And when the opportunity appeared, he moved decisively. If you want lasting power, you must develop strategic patience. Play the long game, but be ready to act when it matters. Law 7, build an unbreakable work ethic. Every empire is built on the back of hard, relentless work. Rockefeller was no exception. He outworked everyone around him, not just physically, but mentally. He wasn't afraid of labor, but he also worked smart. He spent every minute either creating, building, or learning. You cannot rise to greatness without grinding harder than your competition. But here's the trick: don't confuse busy work with real work. Rockefeller wasn't running in circles. He was making every hour count. Your job is to work harder and smarter, no mindless hustle, only purposeful execution. Outwork them. Outlast them. Law 8, think in terms of control, not competition. While others fought over scraps, Rockefeller thought bigger. He didn't want to compete. He wanted control. Domination. Ownership. He wasn't interested in fighting for market share, he wanted to own the entire market. Most people think too small. They focus on beating the guy next to them, rather than controlling the whole game. This law challenges you to shift your thinking. Stop competing. Start thinking in terms of control. How can you position yourself so that no one else can even touch you? How can you become the one who sets the rules? That's the mindset that builds empires. Law 9, cultivate relentless self-reliance. Rockefeller trusted himself above all. He wasn't waiting for anyone to come save him. He didn't rely on handouts, favors, or luck. He built his power through self-reliance. Most people are waiting for a savior, a mentor, a partner, a breakthrough. But that's weakness disguised as hope. You must become your own savior. Learn the skills. Build the habits. Develop the network. Solve your own problems. This doesn't mean you never collaborate, but it means you never depend on anyone to make your vision happen. Everything you need is already inside you, waiting for you to stop making excuses. Start today. Solve one problem yourself. Feel that power? That's called self-reliance. Law 10, master the power of silence. Rockefeller was famously quiet, reserved, calculated. He knew the power of keeping his mouth shut. Too many people talk themselves out of opportunities. They overshare. They reveal their plans, their fears, their weaknesses. But power favors the silent. When you speak less, you observe more. You listen. You learn. You gather information while others expose themselves. Rockefeller could sit through meetings and say almost nothing, yet walk away with everything he needed to dominate. Master this law. Speak less. Listen more. Reveal nothing until it's too late for others to react. Law 11, use adversity as a weapon. Where others saw setbacks, Rockefeller saw fuel. He wasn't afraid of adversity, he welcomed it. Every challenge, every failure, every crisis sharpened him. This is where most people fold. They see adversity as a sign to quit. Rockefeller saw it as a test of strength, of character, of persistence. And every time he passed that test, he emerged stronger, smarter, and wealthier. Here's your reality check: if you can't endure adversity, you don't deserve success. Stop crying about hard times. Use them. Let them forge you into someone unstoppable. Law 12, create systems, not just results. Rockefeller didn't just chase results. He built systems. Systems that produced wealth whether he showed up or not. Systems that multiplied themselves. Most people only chase the next paycheck, the next client, the next deal. That's why they're always scrambling. True power comes from building systems that work even while you sleep. Businesses. Investments. Teams. Habits. Automations. Rockefeller wasn't working for money, he built machines that printed money for him. Your job is to stop thinking like a laborer and start thinking like a builder of systems. Here's your call to action: identify one area of your life where you're chasing results instead of building a system. Shift your mindset now, or stay stuck forever. Law 13, obsess over numbers and details. Rockefeller wasn't just a visionary, he was obsessed with numbers, details, and precision. He knew every cent that moved through his businesses. He studied ledgers like a general studies maps. And that's why he couldn't be blindsided. Most people are lazy with details. They avoid the numbers, ignore the fine print, and then cry when they get crushed. This law is brutal but simple: know your numbers, or get eaten alive. Every dollar, every minute, every resource must be accounted for. Wealth is built in the details. Control your numbers, and you control your future. Law 14, expand relentlessly, but quietly. Rockefeller didn't expand loudly. He moved in silence. While others bragged about success, he expanded behind the scenes, swallowing competitors before they even noticed. Too many people broadcast their every move. They crave validation instead of domination. But power grows best in the dark, away from prying eyes. Build quietly. Scale relentlessly, but say nothing until it's too late for anyone to stop you. Let your results speak. Your silence will terrify them more than your words ever could. Law 15, guard your reputation ruthlessly. In Rockefeller's world, reputation was everything. He understood that a single rumor, a single misstep, could destroy everything he built. He guarded his name with iron discipline. He didn't chase approval, but he made damn sure his reputation remained unshakable where it counted. You need to stop treating your reputation lightly. Your name must mean something: trust, reliability, power. Don't waste time arguing with critics or trying to please everyone. But never allow your name to be associated with weakness, dishonor, or incompetence. Guard it like your empire depends on it, because it does. Law 16. Leverage other people's talents. Rockefeller didn't do everything himself. He was a master at finding people smarter than him in specific areas and putting them to work for his vision. Most people make the mistake of trying to do everything alone. That's not strength, that's foolishness. Power comes from leverage. You must learn to spot talent, recruit it, and align it with your goals. Don't try to be the smartest person in every room. Build rooms full of people smarter than you, but make sure you hold the keys. Remember, Rockefeller didn't drill every oil well, but he owned them all. Law 17. Always negotiate from strength. Rockefeller never begged. Never pleaded. He negotiated from a position of strength, or he didn't negotiate at all. He understood that desperation is the death of power. When you need something too badly, you lose all leverage. This law is simple but hard to live by. Never enter a negotiation unless you're willing to walk away. Strength comes from options. Build them. Cultivate them. And when you sit down at the table, speak softly, but make it clear you can walk away richer than you came in. That's power. Law 18. Multiply wealth through investments, not labor. Rockefeller's fortune didn't come from endless work hours, it came from multiplying capital. He turned profits into more profits through investments, not labor. Most people stay stuck because they trade time for money, endlessly grinding without multiplying their wealth. This law is non-negotiable. You must learn the game of investment. Whether it's stocks, real estate, businesses, or other assets, you must make your money work for you. Otherwise, you'll work forever for it. Stop thinking like an employee. Start thinking like an investor. Here's your call to action: study investments. Pick one vehicle. Learn it obsessively. Or remain trapped in the hamster wheel of labor forever. Law 19. Master the power of delayed gratification. Rockefeller was legendary for his patience. He sacrificed short-term pleasures for long-term dominance. While others spent their earnings on luxuries, he reinvested, expanded, and accumulated wealth. You live in a world obsessed with instant gratification, fast money, fast fame, fast dopamine. But nothing great is built quickly. Power belongs to those who delay gratification long enough to build empires. Every time you delay a temptation, whether it's spending, comfort, or distraction, you build inner strength. Trade short-term comfort for long-term control. That's the true wealth mindset. Law 20. Think like an owner, not a worker. Rockefeller never thought like an employee. Even when he was young and broke, he saw himself as an owner in the making. That mindset shaped every decision. Most people think like workers. They focus on tasks, wages, hours. They trade freedom for security. But power requires you to think like an owner at all times. Owners think about assets, leverage, and scalability. Owners play for equity, not wages. Your job is to shift your thinking, stop asking how much you'll get paid, and start asking how much you can own. Workers survive. Owners dominate. Law 21. Build alliances, but never depend on them. Rockefeller built alliances, but he never depended on anyone. He knew that partnerships could accelerate growth, but also destroy you if you relied too heavily. Too many people become dependent on alliances, partnerships, or even mentors. They think they need others to succeed. That's weakness. Build alliances, yes, but always keep the upper hand. Never put yourself in a position where losing an alliance destroys your foundation. Use alliances to expand, but make sure your core power stands alone. Law 22. Move without emotion, strike with precision. Rockefeller never allowed emotions to dictate his moves. He was a master at striking with precision, unaffected by personal feelings. Too many people act out of anger, desperation, or pride, and they pay the price for it. Power requires calm calculation, not impulsive action. You must become cold in your decision-making. Cold doesn't mean heartless, it means clear. It means separating what you feel from what you need to do. Emotions cloud vision. Logic sharpens it. Learn to wait. Watch. Analyze. And when the moment is right, strike, without hesitation, without regret. Law 23, master timing or be ruled by it. Rockefeller's brilliance wasn't just in what he did, it was when he did it. He moved with perfect timing, never too early, never too late. Timing is everything in power. Some doors open only once. Some windows close forever if you hesitate. But timing isn't luck. It's preparation. Study. Observation. You must develop the patience to wait for your moment, but the speed to move instantly when it arrives. Power belongs to those who master the clock, not those who rush against it. Learn to control your tempo. Either you rule time, or time will rule you. Law 24, control the environment or get consumed by it. Rockefeller didn't merely exist in his environment. He shaped it. He bent markets, governments, and industries to his will. Weak people blame their environment, bad bosses, bad cities, bad economies. But the strong build their environment. They create ecosystems where they can thrive and others must comply. Your current environment isn't permanent. It's either a battlefield or a playground, depending on your mindset. Either change your surroundings or dominate them, but never settle. Build networks, craft alliances, and remove toxicity. Power flows to those who create their own weather. Law 25, turn obsession into fuel. Rockefeller was obsessed, completely consumed by his mission. He didn't balance life. He didn't take it easy. He lived and breathed his vision. And that's why he won. The world teaches you to fear obsession, to strive for moderation. But moderation never built empires. Every great fortune, every monumental legacy was built by those who were utterly obsessed with their purpose. The difference between success and mediocrity? Intensity. Either you burn for it, or you'll never have it. Channel your obsession. Feed it. Let it push you through fatigue, through boredom, through doubt. Obsession, when harnessed, becomes your greatest weapon. Law 26, seize power quietly, expand relentlessly. Rockefeller's power moves were rarely visible until it was too late. He didn't parade victories, he expanded quietly. Power gained in silence lasts longer. Stop broadcasting your every goal, every move, every dollar earned. Move in shadows. Multiply in silence. And by the time they notice, you'll already control the game. Quiet domination is far more terrifying than loud ambition. Work in secret. Scale in secret. And let your success become their nightmare. Law 27, build your own monopoly. Rockefeller didn't believe in fair competition, he believed in monopolies. He didn't want a slice of the pie, he wanted the whole damn bakery. You were not born to compete, you were born to dominate. Stop playing small. Your mission is to build a world where you own the platform, the distribution, the supply, the demand. Power comes from control, and control comes from ownership. The question is simple, what part of your industry can you own outright? Build your monopoly or get crushed by someone else's. Law 28, make ruthlessness a tool, not a personality. Rockefeller wasn't cruel, but he was ruthless when necessary. He didn't go around destroying people for fun. But when power was on the line, he acted without hesitation. Weak people confuse kindness with softness. You can be kind, but you must also be willing to be ruthless in defense of your goals, your vision, your power. Don't seek out cruelty, but don't fear ruthless decisions either. Sometimes, the kindest thing you can do for your future self is to be ruthless with your present comfort. Law 29, outsmart, don't outmuscle. Rockefeller didn't win because he had more strength, he won because he had more strategy. He didn't fight every battle directly. He manipulated supply chains, laws, and market forces to make his enemies collapse under their own weight. You don't need to be the strongest in the room, but you must be the smartest. Outsmart them. Outsmart their egos, their greed, their impatience. Let others exhaust themselves competing while you sit back, calculating, preparing your next move. The smartest player always wins in the end. Law 30, be the last one standing. Rockefeller outlasted them all. That was his greatest strategy, endurance. He could wait longer. He could endure more. And eventually, everyone else quit, got distracted, or self-destructed. Most people quit far too soon. They start strong but fade under pressure. Power belongs to the last one standing. If you can simply endure longer than others, you will eventually win. This isn't glamorous. It's not fast. But it works. Outlast your enemies. Outlast the market. Outlast the storm. Those who endure are the ones who ultimately rule. Law 31, turn crisis into opportunity. Rockefeller thrived in chaos. While others panicked, he profited. When markets crashed, when businesses folded, when economies collapsed, he moved in. You see, most people run from crisis. They freeze, they complain, they wait for things to get better. But power doesn't fear crisis. It welcomes it. Crisis is simply the market's way of transferring wealth from the weak to the prepared. The question is, will you panic like the masses, or will you sharpen your instincts and seize the moment? Stop fearing hard times. Hunt for opportunities where others see disaster. The next time life punches you in the face, ask yourself, what's the hidden advantage here? Because there always is one. Law 32, build invisible influence. Rockefeller's power wasn't always visible, but it was everywhere. He controlled industries behind the curtain. He didn't need credit. He didn't need fame. He needed results. Too many people chase attention, not influence. They want followers, likes, applause. But real power isn't loud, it's quiet and unstoppable. You want people to move in your favor without even realizing it. You want decisions to tilt toward you because you've positioned yourself so strategically that you cannot be ignored. Forget fame. Build invisible influence. Shape the game from behind the scenes. Rockefeller didn't shout from rooftops, he pulled the strings while others danced. Law 33, command loyalty or demand respect, but never both. Rockefeller didn't beg for loyalty, but those who worked with him respected him deeply. You can't force people to love you and fear you at the same time. Pick your lane. Either build respect through your relentless work ethic, your results, your unwavering discipline, or demand absolute loyalty from those you empower. But never confuse the two. Don't try to be loved and feared. Decide, will they respect your results or obey your commands? Either path requires discipline and self-awareness, but power demands clarity in your relationships. Set the tone, or others will set it for you. Law 34, keep your circle tight but strong. Rockefeller's inner circle wasn't large, but it was ironclad. He didn't surround himself with friends. He surrounded himself with allies, people who were strategic, competent, and brutally honest. Most people keep too many people around. They confuse socializing with networking. Your inner circle is either sharpening you or softening you. Audit it. Cut dead weight. Surround yourself only with those who elevate your standards, not those who drain your focus. Power grows faster in tight, strong circles than in wide, loose ones. Law 35, protect your energy like a fortune. Rockefeller guarded his energy like he guarded his wealth. He wasn't available to everyone. He didn't waste time on drama, petty conflicts, or meaningless distractions. You only have so much mental bandwidth. If you burn it on trivial nonsense, you'll have nothing left for your mission. Protect your energy ruthlessly. Say no often. Walk away from draining situations fast. Your energy isn't just emotional, it's the fuel that powers your entire empire. Defend it like your future depends on it, because it does. Law 36. Embrace boredom to master greatness. Rockefeller wasn't chasing constant excitement. He understood that greatness comes from doing boring, consistent, high-value work every single day. Most people are addicted to stimulation. They need every task to feel exciting. That's why they quit. That's why they lose. Power isn't about always feeling excited. It's about mastering the art of repetition. Learn to love boredom. If you can stay locked in on the fundamentals, while others get bored and quit, you will automatically rise to the top. Boredom is the secret gatekeeper to power. Law 37. Own everything, blame nothing. Rockefeller didn't play the blame game. He took ownership of every result, good or bad. Weak people love to blame the market, the economy, their upbringing, their partners, their employees. But blame is poison. Every second you spend blaming is a second you lose controlling your destiny. The law is simple: own everything. If something goes wrong, it's your responsibility to fix it. If something fails, it's your responsibility to pivot. No excuses. No finger pointing. Blame weakens. Ownership strengthens. Law 38. Leave a legacy bigger than you. Rockefeller didn't just build wealth for himself. He built a legacy that reshaped industries, cities, even nations. Power isn't just about what you can take, it's about what you leave behind. Once you master these laws, you have a choice: hoard your power or use it to shape something bigger than yourself. Build institutions, movements, dynasties that outlive you. Plant seeds that grow for generations. Because in the end, true power isn't just about how high you climb, it's about how deeply you root yourself in history. And now, we've reached the end. You've heard them all. Every single law that Rockefeller lived by. 38 laws that separated him from the masses, that built his empire, that carved his name into the foundations of history. These are not suggestions. They are not theories. They are battle-tested, time-proven truths. You can either embrace them, or get crushed by those who do. But here's the question that only you can answer. What will you do now? Will you let these words fade away, lost to another day of procrastination and excuses? Or will you take them, engrave them into your soul, and begin rebuilding your life, law by law, one brutal action at a time? Start today. Start right now. Choose one law. Just one. Apply it ruthlessly. Watch how your world begins to shift under your feet. And if you're ready to keep walking this path with others who are done with mediocrity, others who are hungry, disciplined, and unapologetically focused, then subscribe. Join this community of action takers. Because here, we don't just talk about success. We live it. We breathe it. We build it. This is your moment. Use it, or get left behind.